You know, no place like it.
Yeah, we'll get more stories from all the guys about what it's like to play at the Garden. Shaq, what do you have to do when you go to New York? What do you make it a point of doing when you go to New York?
Well, as a youngster, you know, we always had to go to the Macy's Day Parade. Always had to do that. And my first time going to the Garden, I was a medium-level juvenile delinquent, and a high-level juvenile delinquent. And, yeah, and my father, he used to motivate me with the Knicks and Dr. J. So You know, one time I had a bad report card. He said, hey, your next report card, I'll take you to watch the Knicks and Dr. J play. Dr. J was my favorite player. So at that time, I still had no idea what I wanted to become. So we're sitting up high because, we didn't have no money back then. And, it's kind of a slow game. And Dr. J goes baseline and the crowd goes crazy. And everybody stands up and I was like, Daddy, this is what I want to do when I grow up. And, because of that and because of the atmosphere that was in the Garden, because of what Dr. J did, I quickly stopped being a juvenile delinquent and, really started. High level. And really started focusing on basketball. So then when I'm watching college, a guy by the name of Patrick Ewing is my favorite player. After watching this guy, watching how he played, watching the ferocity that he played with, when he went to New York, I became a Knicks fan, especially when I was in college. But when I went pro, because of this guy over here, that quickly changed. I hated the Knicks.
We're just getting started talking about New York City, talking about All-Star Weekend, what it's like to play at Madison Square Garden, what it's like to grow up in the city of New York with the level of basketball there. We're going to cover it all on this edition of Open Court.
When I was coming up in the late 80s in high school, we felt like New York got all the credit. And so
Burger King chicken fries are now $1.69. Prepare to freak out in 3, 2, 169. Made with deliciously crispy white meat. Chicken fries now just $1.69. Only at Burger King.
What's this? An army of bugs, mosquitoes, and flies. Can't sleep again? What a surprise. You swat, then spray. Well, not anymore. Introducing the Monster Zapper. The incredible indoor insect killer by Bell & Howell attracts mosquitoes, flies, moths, wasps, and other pests with its UV light. Monster Zapper uses two 20-watt UV bulbs to draw in all insects, flies, and mosquitoes. And the electric grid emits 2,800 volts to zap those pests away. Hang your Monster Zapper anywhere, which means no more swatting around the house. Protected by tight overlaid plastic casing, simply plug in the Monster Zapper, flip the switch, and it works instantly. The Monster Zapper kills bugs super fast. Don't use those hideous sticky traps that hang in midair. They're disgusting. Just slide out the tray and wash the dead bugs away. No more scratching from those nasty mosquitoes. No more flea collars. Just plug it in and walk away. It's so easy. Monster Zapper is chemical-free, so you can sleep comfortably, knowing your house isn't contaminated with harsh chemical sprays. Our protective safety grid is so tight-knit, it's accident-proof. That means safe for any room and safe around dogs, cats, and children. 3,000 square feet of coverage. Don't let your home get taken over. No need to call pest control and pay hundreds of dollars every month. No matter the season, your home will stay pest-free. Keep your outdoor space pest-free for barbecues or indoors working in the garage. Keep Monster Zapper in the bedroom, the kitchen, in the basement. Great for offices and restaurants, too. Unleash the Monster Zapper into your home today. Order now. Get the Bell & Howell Monster Zapper for only $39.99. But wait, get a second Monster Zapper. We'll even ship it to you free. Just pay a separate fee. Call now.
To order, call 1-800-659-3598 or go to trymonsterzapper.com. That's 1-800-659-3598 or order online at trymonsterzapper.com. That number again is 1-800-659-3598. Call now.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up.
We welcome you back to another award-winning episode of Open Court. And on this All-Star Weekend, we're talking about the host city, New York, and talking about New York basketball in general. And I just want to be educated by you guys now on Rucker Park. Number one, show of hands, who's played at Rucker? 1, 2.
Well, I have a story about Rucker.
Have you played at Rucker?
No.
Kenny, you're the only one to play at Rucker Park?
Well, see, coming up, Rucker Park wasn't the park to play at if you were that guy coming up. So for me, all the other parks, Lost Battalion Hall in Queens, you'd have 116th Street, you have King Towers tournaments. These tournaments and these leagues, it's citywide for sure, was the biggest league ever. Because citywide would put a Brooklyn site, a Manhattan site, a Queens site, a Bronx site, and then at the end, each borough would play against each other, and the finals would be at Madison Square Garden. So that was the tournament to play in if you were 16, 17, 18 years old. And then as the Entertainment League came about, and Rayful Austin, Skip Shamalou, then the Rucker got rejuvenated.
Right.
But before me, it was like Dr. J, guys who were already
still
there.
got this mystique even.
It had the mystique because the pro players played there.
Yeah.
But the up-and-coming guys didn't play there a lot.
What's your story on that?
They wouldn't allow me to play.
You tried to.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't allow you?
The organizer of the park. As soon as I came in, I said, no, man, you can't play. You're too good.
Bring your play. But I'm gonna tell you no, because Rucker Park, in New York City, our motto is bring your game, not your name. So they wouldn't have.
Man, Shaq would have killed out there.
They would have let you
Don't
kill,
man.
They would have let him kill.
He would have broken the backboard.
They would have let him bring him back.
That's why they want me to play. Thank you, bro.
I mean,
When was that, Shaq?
I don't know what year. Maybe 96. 96, 97.
But there's always just a little bit of truth to a lot of these stories and a lot of BS.
He said, I know you, big fella.
when you had to go to that other park, and what park was that you had to prove yourself? You know, when you leave your cocoon, there's always that moment.
Riverside Church. And the first time I saw kids who took basketball more serious than my dad took his job. So it was a wide awakening for me. I had never seen that. I had never seen that type of energy, that type of motivation. And I was like, I just have to be part of this. So about 2 years later, I went up to Riverside. I played with them. I was like, I got to move up there because these are the guys that if I'm going to be good enough, I have to play with them.
And you know what it's like. I mean, having been up there so much of your life, what it's like on the playgrounds up there in New York.
Yeah, New York is just a special place, and not until you get to New York and understand what it means to play on the playgrounds, it's a very special place to be. You know, because of the talent level is just unmatched. You know, because everybody thought New York was, if you're going to be a top-notch basketball player, you had to make your bones in that city.
How was your appreciation for New York fans different from playing at other teams? You played in a lot of different other places.
What made New York so special, I remember coming to the Garden and I got stopped by this kid. He was 10 years old, and he rattled off my stats. Never, ever, ever I have seen a kid rattle off my stats. New York City is a basketball town. You know, you can play from the time, you know, they put a ball in your hand till you 60, 70 years. You still hear
There's
about
a court
people
on every
playing.
block.
Yeah,
Well, Kenny,
exactly.
I think for me, going to play the Knicks, you can have a basketball conversation everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And whoever you're talking to might have never played the game of basketball, but you can have an intelligent basketball conversation, whether it's in Brooklyn and Queens or in Manhattan. People know the game, understand the game, and not afraid to tell you what you're not good at.
Right.
Sure.
I remember that place, Smitty, where you didn't do this, and they remember playing.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what kind of makes it special.
And you know what this brings up too? I think it brings up the matter of pride in where you come from and who plays the best basketball. Because you guys are, oh no, the best basketball is played on the streets of New York or no, it's Chicago or no, it's DC and we're going to show them when we make the drive from Detroit to New York, where there's a lot of that out there, is there not, Grant Hill?
Yeah, I mean, you know, growing up, like when I was coming up in the late '80s in high school, we felt like New York got all the credit, and so it's true. We felt like it, and so there was a little bit of a chip on our shoulder when we played against either a New York team or someone you're matched up with was from New York. Now, the truth of the matter is, I remember my McDonald's All-American game. We had 5 guys from New York in the McDonald's All-American game, and probably the best one wasn't even on it, Jamal Mashburn. So that shows you how loaded New York basketball was back then. But we felt from D.C. that, you know what, we're just as good. We have a certain flair and style to our game. And, you know, a lot of times we met up. It was about like D.C. versus New York. And I'm sure Detroit, Chicago, all the other major cities were the same way.
I think the one major advantage that the New York players had is the media was always behind them.
Yeah.
Because when I came back from Germany and I was making a name for myself in high school, it was about 15 New York players.
Right.
And like they weren't even averaging half of what I was averaging. I was like, who are these guys? And everywhere I went, the New York guys, 39, 22, and 7. and I shot 62.9% from the three-point line. Anyway,
middle school, right?
Yeah, it's middle school. No, but it was guys like Jamal Faulkner, Kenny Anderson, Conrad McRae. It was like 4 or 5 guys that was ranked ahead of me, and I was like, what makes these guys so special? And then when I saw them play, they were okay, but they really wasn't.
Well, I always say this about New York, because everybody always says, you know.
Guys got a lot of hype behind you.
No, people say New York has the best
Y'all
player.
didn't have any back then. Y'all didn't. I mean, I don't remember seeing Shaq until the McDonald's All-American game.
That's my point.
And so never saw him.
Stole all the media.
He's hiding out in Germany.
Yeah, I'm like, man.
I always felt New York had guys who shouldn't have make it to Division I basketball.
Why is that?
Because of the culture. Because of
the media.
Every third block, there's a basketball court. So, like, I never got a call to go, hey, you want to go play baseball? Hey, you want to go throw a football? Every time you got that call, it's like, yo, we going to hoop. So everybody has an idea how to set a pick, how to roll to the basket. So it makes them look like they're better players than they are, just because they have a better understanding at an early age. But then they don't have the physical skills that can keep going. But I always say, and Mark Jackson to me is the quintessential New Yorker. If you describe Mark Jackson to somebody you didn't know him, say, well, here's a guy can't jump, not really that quick. No, he's not a great shooter. No, he doesn't defend well, but he played 20 years in the NBA. Like, he is what New York basketball represents in that sense. He doesn't have all of those skills.
Mark was an incredible smart player.
But you just know how to play.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. That's it. You just know how to play, and you can know how to stay on the floor. You know angles and things of that nature. But the best players in the world come from everywhere, and they don't come from New York City. That is not the truth.
When we come back, Madison Square Garden. What's it like to play there as a Knick, as an opponent? All-Star weekend.
In the finals. In the finals.
We'll be back.
Whoa. So root for the Knicks. My dream was for Mark to get an ankle twist and they trade for me. So I could come back to New York. I was like, I want to go back and play with the Knicks.
When humanity calls, heroes answer. Will you?
Assemble your squad. Defend the Earth. Marvel Strike Force. Download now for free.
We needed to sell our home, and there was a lot of money on the line. We needed an agent who knew what they were doing. Luckily, we found Homelight. Homelight showed us the best agents in our neighborhood based on their actual track record. Who sells quickly? Who sells for top dollar? In the end, we went with Ben. Ben sold our house in just 2 weeks for $55,000 over asking. There's no question. When it's time to sell, the place to go is Homelight. Join the thousands of people who have sold their home by going to homelight.com.
So what do you guys want?
Pistachio, chocolate chip, Rocky Road.
I see what's going on here. Everybody's got different tastes. Well, now Verizon lets you mix and match your family unlimited plan, so everybody gets the plan they want without paying for things they don't. Jet-setting moms can video chat from Europe. Movie-obsessed teens can stream obscure cinema. It's like everyone gets their own flavor of unlimited. It's a metaphor.
Simo, not a metaphor.
Well played.
One family, different unlimited plans, starting at $40 per line. Switch now and get $300 off our best phones, all on the network you deserve.
Laser X, the #1 home laser tag game on the planet. Join Team Red, Blue, or Go Rogue. Featuring the original Laser X blaster, the rapid-fire long-range blaster, the compact micro blaster, plus the all-new Laser X Fusion modular system. You can hit the target up to 250 feet away, or attach the long-range adapter for twice the range. It's so far, you'll need a new spotting scope to hit your mark up to 500 feet away. Add the wide-range adapter and boost your blast radius to knock out multiple opponents. Plus, with Fusion Back Vest, you get Blast Buster for 3 seconds of invincibility. To stay in the battle, the Fusion system can double your blast power, or equip 2 planes. It makes it the ultimate addition to your Laser X gear, inside or out, day or night. With an unlimited number of players, all Laser X gear works together. You get the brand new Laser X Fusion double set for $79.99, and shipping is free. Batteries not included. Extra blasters sold separately. Must be 18 year olds old. The original, the ultimate Laser X.
The art of a blend is best exhibited by the world's most famous arena. Year in and year out, Madison Square Garden is among the busiest venues on the planet, hosting a myriad of events such as concerts, wrestling, the circus, and of course hockey and basketball games. The heritage of sports in the Big Apple is epitomized at the Garden. Die-hard fans, regardless of background, economic, or social status, blend together to create a buzz only the passionate people of New York can. We welcome you back to Open Court. We're talking about All-Star Weekend in New York, and now let's talk about the Garden. And let's talk to John Starks. Remember the first time you ran out that tunnel and onto the floor wearing the New York Knicks colors in that building?
It was such a hype moment for me because I'm trying to make this team, and as you getting ready to go through that tunnel, you hear the fans. It's just that energy is starting to build. And when you hit the floor, I remember coming out first and foremost, I look up and you see all the, banners up there of the great players, championships. And then when you take the floor, it's just an incredible energy. And I played terrible. Just like to Grant's point, you have to calm yourself down. There's that much energy in the Garden. You have to calm yourself down. And I was one of those players. I'm already hyped up, as it is. And so after that first game, second game, I played very well and kept going because I knew how to just relax.
Do you find yourself playing to the crowd in that setting?
You do. You really do.
How does that manifest itself? I mean, you find out the kind of player you are that gets a reaction from those fans? Because you said you had to earn your way.
Oh, you have to
team.
earn your stripes.
Yeah.
You have to earn your stripes in New York. It's nothing given to you. You have, like I said, you have a 10-year-old kid cursing you out, calling you a bum.
But what were the qualities and the characteristics?
Exactly.
He's a bum, Dad. He's a bum. This guy's a bum.
What were the qualities and the characteristics of your personality and of your game that won you over to the fans of New York?
I let it hang out. That's it. New York fans appreciate when you go out and you give 110%.
Starks pulls back. It's good. John Starks knocks down the jumper. And a little extra cheer from the Garden crowd.
You could lose the game. As long as they know you're out there trying to win and you're giving your best out there night in and night out. Because I always say New York is a blue-collar city. And so they pay good money to come see you play hard. They point you out. I know a lot of guys that played with me got pointed out a lot of times. But, they just appreciate hard play, smart play, and just compete. And I remember the first time we played against Shaq. And, I thought Patrick was big until I seen him against Shaq. I was like, big fella, you a little fella. Like he just dropped him. And Shaq, he's not going to remember this, though. I did block his shot.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you
didn't.
Yeah,
I did.
Stop it.
Yeah, I did. In the Garden.
In the Garden.
Patrick went for the steal. He missed, and big fella turned to go up. I said, you got to get up there quick. I jumped and caught.
John, wake up. You're dreaming.
Come on.
When I came in 92, we had a lot of little battles like Orlando versus Miami. We used to battle you guys. And Chicago was winning the championship. We used to battle those guys. And of course, me and Martin and Charlotte. But New York was the testing ground. Like, you had to go to New York and play well, and you had to be able to adapt to their physical style of play. And everybody was watching. Like, if you went up to New York and got punked by their guys, everybody was going to know you were soft. So it was probably the toughest place to play. One, I couldn't stop Pat on the outside. Two, if I got by him, now I got to face Oakley. I got to face Bonner. I got to
shot blocker
like me.
him. And they taught me a lot about myself because, if you can take a hit from those guys and get up and continue to play, you can make it. But, a lot of times after the game, I thought my ribs and neck was broke because Oakley and Bonner and Mason going in there, you better go strong or you're going to be on your back and you're going to be on your back from outside. And they never said, never said, I'm sorry, or anything. They hit you and they look at you and they dare you to get up and talk smack. And then, you could be dominating the game and still beating them, but they're gonna mess you up every time.
How many times did you say, I'm sorry in your career?
Never.
Never. So you're like, well, those Knicks would never say, I'm sorry, neither did you.
But, they taught me a lot. And, growing up in New Jersey, it was similar, playing with, guys bigger than me and older than me. But, that was a special place to play. Yeah. I mean, because I didn't play against kids my age. I always played against men and all that. But, I played against men.
League you played in right there.
No, I'm saying I played against men.
What high school was that?
The Army High School. Yeah, but the one thing I remember more about Madison Square Garden is, because we actually played in the finals, obviously, there. But
hey, Kenny,
is this a Kenny show today?
No.
He opened up old wounds.
No. But I don't.
Welcome to the Ken NY show.
I remember when the guy comes on and says, "Welcome to the world's most famous arena." That voice of whoever that is, that sticks in my head.
Good evening, everyone.
And that organ. That's the only arena that has a live organ in the arena. Then what was made it so different also is that the spotlight was on the court, and all the fans were dark. So when you started playing, you couldn't see in the stands. You could only see the first couple of rows. And it was everything was focused on the game. And I was like, man, this is something that, I get chills right now thinking about it from high school, playing in college there. We played St. John's, been there in high school and in the pros, but the pro level was the most difficult because in the finals, my friends were rooting against me.
How many tickets did you have to get when you'd play there?
I had probably 20 tickets, and I have to buy most of them because they wouldn't give you free tickets. They're PR guy. So, but the crazy part about it, to have your own friends rooting against you.
Yeah.
For the first time. I mean,
maybe
coming to the hotel.
Maybe they weren't really friends.
No, but they were Knicks fans first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and that was
they don't change their
everyone
stripes.
had the designs in their head.
Yeah.
My whole, 7 of my friends had the Knicks logo cut in their hair. And they come to my hotel room. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Get out. Are you serious? In the finals?
Kenny, New York fan. People from New York obviously are very proud of the Knicks. Playing for the Rockets. Did you ever follow the Knicks
all the time?
Secretly,
no, not secretly.
Okay.
I used to root for the Knicks. My dream was for Mark to get ankle twist and they trade for me, so I could come back to New York. I was like, I want to go back and play with the Knicks, and they had Starks and I was like, man, because and like Shaq said, when you played against their teams,
yes,
you knew that you had mental fortitude and cojones.
well, I think for me, Ken, you said most Detroiters, we like to talk and play.
Right, no question.
So I could carry on a conversation with different guys in the arena.
I was about to say, you're going to have to, in the arena, when you play New York.
I could carry on a conversation, and I played better with somebody talking to me. So I would carry on conversation. It wasn't Spike Lee. No. Everybody talks about Spike, but it's different guys.
Yeah.
And they would always say, Smitty, we here.
Right.
I said, I'm here. But to have a conversation,
right.
Most Detroit players love to have a conversation. And our battles was
we had some wars.
Legendary because he wouldn't let me post up. No. So I would just grab him and hold on him. And we go to the ground.
This man's what, 6'7", 6'8". I'm 6'2". They list me at 6'5".
Right.
But I'm 6'2", actually. And so Raul said, you have to get him off the post. Do whatever you have to do to get him off the post. And I used to try to get up underneath in front of him. I let him push me out, then I spin back. He's off the post.
Right.
I remember I blocked the shot. I was,
he blocked the shot.
One time.
What? The funniest thing happened to me in New York one time. You know, people talk about the stars that's out in L.A.
Yeah.
But my favorite female actress was in the stands one day. I ain't gonna say no names. Halle Berry. So I get fouled. I think Olga, one of the guys that messed up. So I get fouled. And I'm looking, and she winked at me. I had to call a timeout.
Oh,
I promise you I had to call time. Went back to the bench. Maddie said, what are you doing?
Wake up, Shaq. You tell her.
She winked at me. No, it's not. She winked at me, so I called the timeout. And Maddie was like, what are you doing? I was like, Holly looking at me to make sure I get the ball the next 50 times coming down the court.
The next 50 times?
Oh, look, yeah. Holly's watching. Get it to me. I'm about to go to work. I'm about to go to work. Pat, you about to be barbecue. All right, Ernie, I just made that up.
I was going to say, more made-up stories are coming up on this edition of Open Court. We're talking about New York. We're talking about the Garden. We're talking about All-Star Weekend. And we'll be back with more after this.
After I did that headbutt, I didn't have no problems. I read for the rest of my career. He just played basketball. He stopped talking. He stopped, doing the dirty things that he was doing. He just played. He played.
You're watching Team Day, the greatest moments of the New York Knicks on NBA TV.
Burger King chicken fries are now $1.69. Prepare to freak out in 3, 2, 169. Made with deliciously crispy white meat. Chicken fries now just $1.69. Only at Burger King.
You love the look of exterior lighting, but lighting contractors cost a fortune. And wiring your own lights? Well, don't try that at home. You need Disc Lights by Bell & Howell, the portable, powerful, solar-powered LED outdoor lights that mount flat to the ground to create incredible cascades of light. Best of all, there's no wiring at all. Just press Disc Light flat to the ground, and you're done. Bell & Howell disc lights utilize light conversion technology that absorb the sun's energy in storage cells, where it's converted into solar-powered electricity. So when the sun goes down, disc lights come up for 10 full hours and turn off automatically in daylight. There's even a switch to turn them on and off manually. Add disc lights to accent your garden, or to add ambiance by the back deck or beside the pool. Place one for a specialized accent light, or an entire group for amazing landscape lighting. Each Bell & Howell disc light contains ultra-bright LEDs that last over 10 years in a durable, weatherproof stainless steel housing, and they're low enough and tough enough that you can even mow right over them. Remove the stick and lay them on any flat surface to add light to that dark walkway, highlight steps and stairs for safe passage, or just to add inviting accent lighting to your outdoor living. Use the hook and loop strips to mount vertically, so now you can actually see the food you've got cooking on the grill, or add some extra light on the barn or backyard storage shed. And disc lights help to deter nighttime intruders. So which house do you think the thieves would hit? Only disc lights carry the Bell & Howell name, the brand your family has trusted since 1907. Whether you stake them, hang them, or lay them flat, disc lights deliver the right look and light in a snap. So you can spend up to $1,000 or more on outdoor landscape lighting installed by a professional. Or you can get this set of 4 Bell & Howell disc lights for just $19.95, and we'll even ship it to you free. But wait, order today and you can get a second set of 4 disc lights. Just pay a separate fee. So don't delay. Order your Bell & Howell disc lights today. Just $19.95. Call now.
Call 1-800-611-3909 or go to disclights.com. That's 1-800-611-3909 or order online at disclights.com.
The most refreshing beer from Sam Adams. Sam 76. Like nothing you've tasted before. You'll have to try it to believe it. Sam 76. Refreshing, flavorful, craft.
Welcome back to Open Court here on NBA TV. We're talking about the All-Star Weekend in New York. Now, when you look at the panel here, Kenny, you've been front and center at All-Star Weekend before in the three-point shootout and the slam dunk contest. John Starks, an All-Star in 1994. What was it like for you to walk into that locker room? And you're a first-time All-Star. Guys are there who have been there.
Shaq was on that team back in '94.
Yeah.
I remember, we sat down in the locker room, and I remember telling the guys, it's an honor to play with you guys and what have you, but this may be my first and last, so I want to win. You know what I mean? As simple as that. I know All-Star games are about going out and having fun and till the last 5 minutes, but I want to make this a very special All-Star game, and so I remember, particularly telling everybody that I want to win. But as soon as you come out of there, and the fans are extremely excited, about that particular game, and and the players. You're talking about 24 of the best players during that particular time.
And you hear your name, you're introduced. Along with those other guys.
He's an all-star, and his explosive scoring and striking defense helping his team of power and
it was very special, you know what I mean, because, you know, a lot of guys who played in this league and don't have that opportunity to be an all-star. And, you know, you grasp that moment and the feeling that you have knowing that this is a special time in your career, knowing that you front and center and then the world is watching. And you want to go out there and you play. You don't want to miss your first shot. I don't think I missed my first shot. I hit 2 shots.
How many
I
shots you
scored
blocked
4.
that game?
None.
9 points and no blocks in that All-Star game.
No.
So in 1998, last time the All-Star game was held at the Garden, and you were there, Smitty. Grant, you were there. Shaq, you were there. If playing in the Garden in a regular season game or a playoff game is big, how big is playing in an All-Star game in Madison Square Garden?
It was phenomenal. I mean, my family, my little league coach was there, my wife, and then it's just like getting your name called in the draft, being able to play in that All-Star game. And then it's at the Garden, and then it's Shaq, it's Grant Hill. Because even though you're an All-Star yourself, you're looking across, and that's Michael, and that's Kobe, and that's Carl. And to come out and play in the Garden, and then to have a teammate and a guy I grew up with, Glenn Rice. You know, it's kind of special. We played against each other growing up, played against each other at Michigan State, played together in Miami, and then for us to be all-stars together in '98, I thought I was about to win the MVP trophy for sure.
You caught fire. You had 14 in that game.
And then they subbed me.
And what happened?
They subbed me. I'm not understanding this. I got 12 out of the last 14 points.
Yeah.
Come sit down, young fella.
MJ wound up getting the MVP.
Yeah, he did.
You had 14. You had 15 in that game.
Yeah. No, I remember.
Shaq, you had 12.
They don't pay.
You had 12. The Kimbe was gone.
15.
Kimbe was gone.
Barbecues, Zimbabwe chicken. I know what you're talking about.
What are your memories of that game, Grant?
Honestly, I remember it became kind of like the MJ Kobe show, and they were kind of going back. And Kobe was, you know, trying. I guess he was a sub that year, but got voted in, and he was trying to get his. And it was almost like MJ's got to kind of show